My name is Bernard. My mother was a prostitute. She had 9 brothers. 5 of the brothers were medical doctors. 3 of them were engineers. 1 was in the last year in the university. Within a year, all the 9 brothers died. The 5 doctors were buried in a day. They died in a day. It was the 25th of December. They met, they ate, they drank, and none of them woke up. 5 of them. Doctors checked for food poison. There was no food poison. 5 of them dead. In the course of the year, the other 4 died. Was left with my mother and the twin sister. My grandmother had 6 sisters. None of them had a child. A year after my mother lost his brothers, all the 6 sisters of my grandmother died. So now in a whole family, it was left with my mother and the twin sister. Poverty gripped them. My mother started selling herself as a prostitute. One day, to her surprise, she was pregnant. She didn't use any protection. And when a prostitute is pregnant, the baby is a liability. It's not an asset. The baby is a problem. Because as long as the baby is there, my mother cannot find food to eat. So she decided to abort me. So she went to the hospital. She tried 6 times. Tried with every unconventional means, you know, herbs and all that. 6 times, and I will not come out. At the 7th attempt, she went to the hospital, met a doctor. She was from Germany, a German doctor called Bernard, practicing in Ghana, West Africa. Dr. Bernard told my mother, don't kill this baby. If you give birth to this baby, I will take care of him for the rest of his life. My mother listened to the advice. On the 7th month, I was born. Premature baby. I was not breathing. The nurses thought I was dead. They examined me and realized there's no life in me. So they were about to release me into the garbage dump. Right there, Dr. Bernard, who was not on duty that day, showed up, opened the door when they were about to release me into the can. He said, why? What are you doing? Baby dead. He said, no. This baby cannot die. Give me this baby. He took hold of me, put me in the incubator, and exactly 1 minute past 12, I started breathing. From morning till 1 minute past 12 midnight. And it's amazing, my birthday is the 12th of January. My mother was excited. 7 days after I was born, Dr. Bernard was coming to work in the morning. He had an accident around the clinic and died. My mother's hopes were shattered. Dr. Bernard's wife told my mother, I didn't hear my husband giving any promise to take care of your boy, so I'm sorry, I can't help you. So I grew up seeing my mother still as a prostitute. We used to live in the slums, and men will come in there and do whatever they want to do with her. And at times when they are leaving, they will say all kinds of horrible things. And as a little boy, there was such pain in my heart. One day, my mother told me, he said, Bernard, I found a little job in an army officer's house. I'm going to be a maid. So we entered the army officer's house. He gave us his garage. We used to sleep with the dogs. The food that they gave to the dogs was better than ours. So normally when they serve the dog's meal, my mother and I will eat the dog's meal and give the dog our meal. At night, this man will leave his wife upstairs and come downstairs to have sex with my mother and then beat her up not to tell anybody. And at times I would stand at the corner of the garage and see my mother bleeding from the nose and from the body. I could not tell anyone. One day the man came, looked at my mother and said, I cannot take care of 2 people. It's either you go and your child stay in this house, or your child stay and you get out of this house. As a little boy, 6 to 7 years, I left the house. I ended up on the streets, picking up food from the gutters. One day I went to the bus station. I saw a bus leaving for Accra, the capital city of Ghana. When I found the bus, went and hid where they park the bags. You know, down the bus, I hid myself there. I still don't understand how I survived, because it's very hot down there. The bus moved. I slept, woke up and heard voices, and came out. I was in the capital city, and I lived in a market area, eating from the ground, picking up food from the ground. And at times I will help people with their groceries. When they come to buy something from the market, I will want to carry it to their car. Up to today, when it rains, my heart breaks, because when it rains, we used to sleep in boards, in cardboards. So when it rains, everything melts, and we have visitors called mosquitoes at night. See, On the streets, if you had money, the other boys that are stronger than you will beat you and take the money. So normally when I help people with their things to their car and they give me money, I will not take the money. But somehow, some way, I will find food on the ground and eat that day. One day, I helped a man carry some fruits to his car. He looked at me. He said, follow me. Before the man, I had met a lady. I've helped her with her groceries. She looked at me. She said, I had a dream. I saw a boy like you. Follow me home. She took me to a house. He gave me her garage. That was my second garage. I lived there for 17 months. The day of the 17th month, this precious lady went to town, was coming back home, had a car accident and died. I ended up on the streets again. Then I met this man, helped him with the groceries to the car. And then he said, I want to take you home. He took me home. He also gave me his garage. That was my third garage. I am the garage boy. I used to sleep with a dog called Sharp. The food they give to Sharp is better than mine. So when they serve the meal of Sharp, I will eat mine and eat the dog's food. Sharp was growing leaner and leaner and died. They didn't know who killed Sharp. I used to clean the house and cut the grass. The man had 4 boys, and they had a special teacher that comes in to teach these boys. Between the study room and the garage, there's a little hole through the door. And when they are being taught, I will look through that hole. And that is how I learned how to read and write. S-O-S-O-T-O-2, 1 + 1, 2. I'll be looking through that hole. One day my boss caught me. He gave me a merciless beating I will never forget. He said, useless. You're supposed to sleep and wake up and clean the house. Nothing good in you. What are you doing looking through that hole? Do you know what they are being taught? Okay. What is the past tense of go? Because they were teaching them tenses. I looked at him. I said, gone. He was shocked. He said, join them. Praise the Lord. So every day, I'll clean the house and do everything. In the evening, I'll sit with the boys and study. When the boys go to school, I'll go and take their test books and study. The boys like me. So they used to give me some money, little coins. When they give me the money, I go and dig the ground and put the money there. That was my bank. I continue. One day, I was sent by my boss to buy something in the area. And I met a teacher. He said, Bernard, I've heard you are bright. They are registering for the common entrance examination, and if you have money, I'll register you to sit that exams. I said, hold on a minute. I ran to my bank. You know my bank? I ran to my bank and I dig everything and gave it to him. It was nothing, but he looked at it with tears in his eyes and he said, I'll register you. So that teacher registered me for that exam. I sat the exams and passed with distinction. I didn't know anything about Jesus or God or Holy Spirit or Bible. As a matter of fact, I hated God with every passion in my heart. If God was there, why will I suffer this way? Now it's time for me to leave the house. I've passed the exams. I have the first choice, secondary school. Never been to school. I wore my first shoe when I was about 15, 16 years old. No footwear. 2 shorts and 2 shirts. I left the house. Nobody knew. I went to the secondary school, to the campus with a polythene bag, a rubber bag. They used to laugh at me. No shoe, no pen, no exercise book, no home. When school vacates, I have nowhere to go. I had a government scholarship, so my tuition was paid, but that's it. I used to steal sheets from the books of my classmates that will help me write the notes. At times when I enter the classroom, my classmates will begin to push their tables and chairs away. Why? Because I stink on my body. I have this bad odor on my body because I had no soap to bath with. Normally, I'll wait until the school take their bath in the main bathroom, and I'll go and pick the pieces of soap they have left behind, squeeze it together. That would take me a day or 2. They used to call me the laundry boy because I go from dormitory to dormitory and get all the dirty clothes, wash it, iron it, and distribute it, so they'll give me something to feed on. And I'm still in the laundry business. But this time, this is my soap. Still in the laundry business.